Welcome back to another episode of Lone Star College Football. It's a different kind of episode today. It's not a happy one. Uh, we're a bit upset. Baylor traveled to Morgantown for a Thursday night game. They were a 3.5 point favorite over the West Virginia Mountaineers, and they came up a bit short. Now, before I throw this towards Logan as he's trying to collect his thoughts over there. Um, we both picked Baylor. Logan wasn't as confident as I was, ironically. I felt like, first of all, I felt like if Blake Shapen stays in, I think they win. Um, 326 yards in the first half or whatever. That's insane. Like those are Heisman stats right there. Um, but with that being said, I think they win. But Baylor's defense was just bad. And I don't know why, because I think Baylor's defense is better than that, if that makes sense. Like they've played better than that all year. We haven't seen a game where they played that bad. Even in the loss against BYU, they didn't play that bad. In the loss against Oklahoma State, they didn't play that bad. And against Oklahoma State and BYU, at least there was a proficient offense on the field for the other team. So I honestly don't quite understand. Logan, you got to watch a little bit more of the game than I did. Uh, what did you see, dude?
And I just want to start off and agree with you. If Blake Shapen stayed in the game and healthy, we would have won that game. Um, I'm not putting this loss on Kyron Jones. I mean, he made his
No, because he didn't play bad,
yeah, he
and
played pretty good.
his interception didn't lose the game. Like y'all got the ball back in the same
But they didn't
position,
play in the same spot.
right?
But it is just so frustrating. If we would have had just one more person block on the extra point, it'd be a tie game. But it shouldn't have got to that point in the first place.
Yeah,
Um, their running back, Tony Mathis, their backup running back, 22 carries, 163 yards, two touchdowns. Um, he's good. He's a good power back. He's falling forward every single time. It's and I don't know what our front seven was doing, but it felt like they didn't do anything until Dylan Doyle got that interception at the end of the game, and it was frustrating. Like you pull up who led the team and doesn't even have defensive stats on here yet.
no, they don't.
But our front seven played. Um, I don't know, like they weren't flying around. I know Siaki Ika got out for about 3 plays at one point, but
Mm-hmm.
that was also at the end, like closer to the end of the third quarter, I believe. Like we had a string of players just stay on the ground there, like in the third, like the late third to early fourth quarter. Blake Shapen being one of them, Siaki Ika being one of them, and there was one more that I can't think of right now. But it's just I don't know. I really don't know what happened to our defense this week. We like total they had 217 rushing yards. I think we averaged like 98 or 96 coming into
Yeah.
the game. And that's on top of JT Daniels throwing 24-37 for 283, one touchdown, one interception. Like their run game just killed us, especially in the red zone.
They're and that's probably the story of the game is they're no, their number one running back had 163 rushing yards. Y'all's total team had 169. But if you look at all the yards in the game, y'all had what 5, 9. Y'all had 590 offensive yards, and they had like what exactly 500. Y'all still did more yards than them, almost 100 yards more. I guess maybe those turnovers is probably. You said y'all had two fumbles
Then we had two fumbles, Blake
and
Shapen
the
and
interception.
Waylon Jones, and Then Kyron Jones interception, but
So y'all lost both of those fumbles,
one of them was a scoop and score to the crib.
and, and the only turnover that y'all got was that one interception.
Yep.
Yeah, it sounds like y'all outplayed them on offense by 90 yards and those two turnovers, especially the scoop and score. That's a big swing.
There's a 10-point swing between the scoop and score and the
The
blocked
field
extra
goal.
point that was returned.
Yeah.
So I
Well,
mean,
that's a bigger swing. There's a 10-point swing between uh y'all being on offense about to score points and then them getting seven. Like y'all should have been going up by three, at least three more points.
yeah,
And instead they're catching up by seven. So there's a swing in that plus a scoop and a score like that. That's a huge some people don't it's weird. Some people don't believe in like the momentum
no,
aspect of a game.
especially whenever it's a home game for West Virginia.
Yeah,
If it
I
was
I have had
close on the
real
other hand, it the momentum wouldn't be as big of a thing. But with
yeah.
it was a home field advantage for West Virginia, where their fans actually stayed through the whole game, unlike Baylor fans do. Sorry, not
Yeah.
sorry, but they're actually into the game.
Well, I've had real conversations with people who don't believe in the momentum aspect of a football game. And I'm like, okay, tell me you don't watch college football without telling me you don't
Yeah,
watch college
that's
football.
complete crap.
There is a huge, there are certain things that just shift momentum so fast, and any defensive touchdown is probably one of the biggest.
Yeah,
A defensive or special teams touchdown has got to be one of the biggest.
let me look at the game cast, see how this crowd showed up.
Uh,
Does not say that I can see.
it doesn't say as there's 55,000 is what it says the thing holds, their stadium
This is
holds.
saying 60.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it does say 60, which isn't. I mean, it's a night game that matters. Night home games are a better atmosphere for the home team than
Especially
a
West Virginia.
11 o'clock.
It's like West Virginia is like the queen of Thursday night games for some reason this year.
Yeah. Well, no, they didn't they start the season on a Thursday night game?
Against Pitt.
They lost and they lost that game.
No, I'm saying like they played Thursday night games.
They've played. Yeah,
The
how
third
often does the
game,
same team play two? Their third?
I think. I think.
Wow.
Even then, it's still Monterey
Yeah,
Ball
they played
crazy game. We haven't even talked about him.
they played Virginia Tech on a Thursday.
Yeah, that's their
That's
third.
so weird.
I
That's weird.
don't.
They've played three Thursday and three Saturday.
That's so crazy.
They don't have any more Thursday. They're all Saturdays.
Well, they're about to
Hmm.
start moving our games to Thursdays. Dude, I'm so upset about this game. I'm so upset.
Yeah. But you did make a good point. We have not talked about Kevin Holmes, dude. He's been he's been in an odd way the most important piece of y'all's offense.
Yeah,
Um, this is the first time that we've seen him show up and y'all lose. Usually, when he shows up, y'all win.
yeah. I mean,
And I mean, we can't take nothing. 7 for 210 and a touchdown. Gavin, you did everything you could.
along with
Um,
like
yeah, like you did. Look at y'all's long passes, a 56, 23, 25, 39,
dude,
25. Like y'all were getting the
Blake Chapin,
medium to deep pass open.
yeah, Blake Chapin and Kyron Drones were dotting them up. Kyron a little bit
Yeah.
less, but I mean, he doesn't have the snaps like Blake does. Everything else, yeah, rah rah rah.
Yeah. Or Gavin Holmes gave everything he could. The most interesting aspect for me is I don't understand why Richard Reese, who's been playing great as a true freshman, why has he got 13 carries and the backup has 10? Well, that should probably look more like Richard Reese has 20 and Quaylen Jones has 6 or 7.
I
Like
don't
it
believe,
shouldn't be the same.
I don't believe
Craig
that.
Williams. doesn't need those carries,
There's
in
no
my opinion.
way he only had 3 carries because dude he started off the first drive with 2.
Oh, okay.
So there's no way that 3 is right. I mean the yards might be, but the carries I don't think is right necessarily. Quaylen Jones, I thought he had more than that. I thought Richard Reese had like 10, but I mean they both averaged 4.4.
But you've got to get your playmaker the ball, and yeah,
Really,
they both averaged 4.4, but look at the difference.
he's been
Uh,
the he's been our best running back all season,
yeah,
and he's played in like a game and a half less than everybody else on this team, and it just
yeah,
boggles my mind of what is the plan here. Like what are we trying to scheme up here? We tried to do another trick play too, or double pass, not trick play. I guess it could be. But Jacob Neighbors, I mean, he was like a yard too far. I think that would have been a touchdown. But even then, it was like second and whatever from like their 45.
yeah,
Um, Man, what losses this game had to be, well, besides defense, is going to be turnover battle. I don't know why we're not getting any turnovers on defense this year. So I guess it's just our defense. It's just our defense. West Virginia's offense is not that good. Yes, they have targets. They have good running backs. JT Daniels isn't bad. He's not great. But whenever you can't stop an inside zone that bounces out just about 2 yards outside of the hash, what are you going to do? It,
yeah. Right now, a question that I can't help but have run through my mind is looking at last season. What I can't figure out, because I think y'all have good players that left. There's no way to deny Tyquan Thornton was a stud, Terrell Bernard, Jalen Petrie, um, with JT Woods. Like y'all had some
RJ Smith.
good players. But I almost wonder if last season was more of a y'all got on a roll. And when a team gets on a roll, even if they're not the best team, when they get rolling, they're hard to stop. And I'm wondering, did y'all just get on a roll and were hard to stop? Because it doesn't feel like y'all, it feels like y'all still have talent. And those players you lost, Tyquan Thornton would maybe be the most important one. I wonder if y'all had Tyquan Thornton, how much better would y'all's offense be? But at the same time, I don't want to say Terrell Bernard is the most important because I think Dylan Doyle's stepping up and playing well. Um, Petrie, maybe Jalen. Was it Jalen Petrie?
I'd like to have all of them back, to be honest.
Well, yeah,
But
but I there's something different about this team where it's like y'all still have talent, and Dave Aranda being Dave, the rave that we had for him was that he has the ability to take a lower talented player and elevate that. And the fact that it isn't quite happening makes me wonder. Okay, were those players we lost just that good, or did y'all just get on a pretty good roll last year and didn't seem to lose your footing?
I mean, in last week's press conference that he had, like doing a preview of this game, he'd even said himself that the players have gotten complacent. Like
Mm.
there's a lot of people on defense, which goes to show our defense played terrible. Got complacent. Siaki Ika was not one of them. I remember him saying that. He made a point to make sure we knew it was not
That
Siaki.
dude's too big. He's going to the NFL soon. He ain't got time to be complacent.
Exactly. But everybody, like he said, the defense was like complacent. People on offense were getting complacent. Um, but the defense definitely showed. I think our offense played pretty good. I think our offensive line actually played really good this week. Blake Shapen,
Yeah, like I said earlier, you don't score 40 points and blame your offense for losing a game.
no,
That's a defensive L.
our offense played great. Even Kyron Jones played great, besides the one pick. But then again, we got the ball right back. So that's not why
Yeah.
we.
No.
I think we lost like 5 yards in between the two kicks. Oh no, whatever. But
Yeah.
it's defense, 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 defense.
Yeah. Real quick before we hop off, I feel like we've got to talk about the remaining schedule.
Yeah,
Um, we've talked about it off camera for a little bit. I seem to somehow still be more confident in this Baylor team than you are. I think y'all just, I'm going to go through the next six, then you do the same. I think y'all still have a chance against Kansas because Kansas quarterback is hurt as well. I think you'll have a chance against Tech because Tech's quarterback is out as well. I think Oklahoma, even with Dylan Gabriel, their defense is so bad, especially in the rushing game. Their rushing defense is so bad. Y'all should be able to hand off the ball to your triple headed running back room
yeah,
and win. I now the last three games, Kansas State, TCU, and Texas. Unless something changes in those, I would at the current moment, I'd say those are losses. And depending on the spread, I'm probably picking against Bama or against Baylor. But dude, the next three I think are winnable. I think it's so weird to say this. In a weird way, I think Oklahoma is the most winnable. But dude, I need y'all to win three. I need y'all to make a bowl game. I didn't start rooting for Baylor so y'all can suck. All right.
that's what
That's
I'm.
not
That's what I'm
that's not
about
what I'm happening.
to do. Like I started rooting for Texas and y'all got good. You started rooting for Baylor and we sucked. I'm just
Whoa,
gonna.
whoa, 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 whoa. We got good. When did that happen? When did you you speak you haven't been a Longhorn fan good enough to not say that yet. We don't say that around here, dude.
But man,
We'll
on
see how the last game of the season goes, and then we'll decide if we were good or not.
yeah, to be honest, we're gonna go 4-8, and the only game we're gonna win is at Texas. I don't know. That is the only thing that makes sense to me.
Oh yeah.
No,
I can tell you if that happens, I will not be rooting for Baylor next year. If y'all lose the next one, two, three, if y'all lose the next five games and beat Texas, I will not be rooting. Baylor will immediately be now. Y'all can beat us if y'all win out and beat us. Hey, just is what it is. If y'all lose the next five and beat Texas, I will hate Baylor for the rest of my life. Especially if we win out and then lose to Baylor. If we win out, nah, dude. Oh,
yeah. But anyways, man, like I was telling you, I could easily see us finishing the season at 3-9, just because the two easiest games we have left is at Tech, at Oklahoma. Tech's not a bad.
yeah.
Oklahoma is not good. Um, I don't see us beating Kansas because they have mobile quarterbacks, both Jalen Daniels and Elijah Bean. I don't even think that's his first name. Might be Jeremiah Bean. I don't know.
I think it
But
was something with the J.
Bean is mobile. Daniels is mobile. They have that in common with Sanders from Oklahoma State. He ran all over us. It's I don't see it working out good for us. I mean, we could roll out the rest of the season. I'd be very very surprised, especially on November 25th. Um, but we got TCU at home this year, so that one might be a good game for us to win.
Yeah.
But it's tough for me to say that I'm confident that we're gonna be a bowl team. I don't know, man. I'm not liking it. Especially, I really don't like having homecoming against Kansas, number 19.
No,
Kansas.
it sounded like a great idea whenever the schedules were being made.
I'm talking about at 11 o'clock in Waco. Whenever we saw last time we played at 11 o'clock against Oklahoma State, nobody stayed to watch the game. Nobody. And
Yeah, y'all have got to fix that.
I don't even want to get into it, man. I'm gonna get too mad and hurt people's feelings. I see people complaining about
Um,
it in the Facebook groups all the time, and I'm just like, I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut. Like,
Hey, it's letting me look at the team stats. I can see all
oh,
that now.
nice.
I'm trying to find y'all's stadium. I need to build a bigger stadium. Only if you listen. If you only have 45,000, none of your fans can't leave. Y'all can't leave. It's too quiet.
Yeah.
I Texas can hold 105,000 and people start leaving. I'm like, what do y'all do? What's the deal? When the game I went to, we're in the fourth quarter winning by 40. Why are y'all leaving? They're trying to beat the traffic, dude. We're killing these folks.
You're in Austin.
I
You're
don't
not
get
gonna
it.
beat the traffic.
But no, there's traffic on a Sunday while people are at church. There's traffic. Um, yeah, man. It's I'm not liking it. Like I said, I did not I chose to follow Baylor this year. I was hoping to have two teams that
Bro,
could play, and
listen, listen to
I
this.
was rooting for a back to back. Do what?
The past two games that we've played, Blake Shapen has thrown for over 300 yards. Lost both of them. What kind of crap is that? He threw for 345 against Oklahoma State and 326 today.
Let me tell you what it is. Neither one of those games, y'all's running back broke 100, and
Wow.
also against BYU, your running back didn't break 100.
That's because they didn't play Richard Reed.
But also against Iowa State didn't break 100. Dang, how is y'all's running back? Is Richard Reese doing 72 for 400? Y'all got to quit handing the ball off to Craig Williams so much. On the season, Richard Reese is averaging a whole yard more. Um, and then I guess Quaylen Jones also has 30 carries. Y'all have got your starting running back, 72 carries. Your other two running backs, 69 carries. Why? Why? That should look more like Richard Reese when he has 72 carries. Your second string should probably be about 20, 25, and your third string should probably have about 10 or 15. That's your third string. You get 10 or 15 this year, and next offseason, you try to become the second string or the starter. That's just,
Yeah,
if y'all are winning by a lot, you can come in and get carries, but that hasn't really been the story for Baylor this year. Y'all
yeah.
haven't.
It's the whole thing where it's like we're gonna try to get everybody different looks, which I could see where that would work, but it's not working this year.
Okay, but here's the problem is also when it comes to Baylor, let me go ahead and pull them back up. I know Richard Reese only has 6 receptions.
Yeah,
And y'all's other running back
squirrel. He had a good one.
receiving,
He should be at, to
receiving.
be honest.
Richard Reese has 6. Fleeks has 2.
Please.
Quay Jones has 7. Tate McWilliams has 5. Craig Williams has 3. Y'all aren't, first of all, you're not getting the ball to your running back out of the backfield enough. Second of all, your starting running back has 6 and your third string running back has 7. So
Our
when your third string running back is in, it's more noticeable that if you're going to throw the ball to running back, he's in. Richard Reese needs to be more dynamic in the receiving game. I think that would help y'all open it up a lot because right now, Richard Reese is in the game. It's probably a run. Or it's not a pass to him. You don't have to cover him tight.
yeah,
And if you start making a linebacker cover him tighter, whenever he flexes out left or right, those slants are open because that linebacker has to mirror or drop down. And then once he starts dropping down, it's easy. You hit the play action. I mean, if you're running back, I mean, to be fair, Bijan, I think, only has like 13 or 14 receptions. Um, but let's see, Reese, 6 for 42. Bijan might not even have that many. Yeah.
my
Bijan,
thing is
Bijan, hang on. Let me finish this thought real quick. Richard Reese, 6 receptions for 42 yards. Bijan, 12 receptions for 203. if you're more, and to be fair, Roshan Johnson has 12 receptions for 123. Keelan Robinson, our third string running back, has 8 for 104. Your running backs have to be dynamic out of the backfield. They have to be.
And
If they're one
that's good
dimensional,
last year.
yeah, if and you're right. And if they're one dimensional, then they know the linebackers can drop back in coverage playing receivers and go ahead. You want to dump it off to your running back for 2 yards? Go for it. But they're not a big play threat. While Bijan has a long of 42, Roshan long of 38, Keelan long of 35. Um, you got to make the defense respect your running back receiving room.
I don't
100%.
I don't think Jeff Grimes wants to do that. I don't know why.
Well, he's
Like
wrong because I,
Squirrel Williams, I feel like be more dynamic as a slot receiver.
yeah, but we've got, dude, I'm 24, what, 32. We've got 32 receptions from our running back room for a total of 430 yards and 4 touchdowns. If you're getting 10 yards per catch out of your running back. I mean, you've got to do that. To be fair, if all our running backs were one player, it's our best receiver. That stat line, 32 for 404 touchdowns, that would be our best receiver. And I think that y'all are doing a disservice. I mean, I haven't watched as much of the plays of you. I've been trying to watch what I can, but are y'all even trying to scheme it up? Or does it just seem like it's just a dump off? The quarterback's only throwing it to the running back if there's nothing else available.
Yep, that's exactly
Because
what every time.
we're scheming up, and I know we're about to run out of time. We're scheming up play action bootlegs where the running back is running a delayed wheel route, and we've got that one crazy play where Quinn kind of did
Well,
a bootleg and then a 180 screen. I mean, y'all got to dial this stuff up.
I say that, but I think the one catch that Craig Williams had today, I believe that was a screen. Like that's the most that we dig into. It was just that screen, which I mean, it worked because he went and scored on like 25 yards, I believe.
Yeah.
But it's still like a come on, do something. Oh, 39.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Also, as much as I like Sims, dude's slow. He has no change of direction. He's good. Don't get me wrong. He'll play on Sundays. But that man might be slower than Jason Witten the year Jason Witten retired. The
Yeah,
dude is slow.
I
Come
like
on.
Drake Dabney. Drake Dabney gives me he's a lot more athletic.
If you look at the stats too, I mean Dabney. So Sims 20 of 139, 6.9 yards per catch. Dabney 8 for 81, 10.1. He's averaging 3 yards per catch more. I'm what I'm fearing is because Sims is a senior, Dabney is a junior. Oh, he's a junior. See, here's what I'm afraid of. Here's
Oh,
Tom Herman. Dave Aranda is becoming Tom Herman. I'm gonna make this quick. Tom Herman refused to play a younger player because he had this stupid idea that the senior deserved it. But we'd have a player, a lower underclassman come in and play better. And then the next week, the senior trots out there. It's like, no,
well,
that's not our best player.
Ben
Bijan Robinson, freshman year, did not start.
feel like it's Ben Sims is getting the call every time because he's the captain. But
I get it, but
we could dig into that at a different time. We gotta go.
yeah. Well, if y'all made it, this ended up being a long video. There's a lot to unpack here. If y'all made it this far, we appreciate y'all. Y'all do us a favor and check out our TikTok. We are at just like 99 followers as we speak. So follow that, and we are gonna have weekly college football content on there as well as on here. You can find him at L Patterson _3. You can find me at Christian H _88. And even though I'm covered in burnt orange, sick 'em.